Have you ever wondered why certain scars run deeper than others? Some scars are visible, etched on the skin like battle trophies. Others lie beneath the surface, shaping how we see the world and ourselves. Pain leaves its mark, not just on our hearts, but on the very fabric of who we are. And if you've endured more than your share, you probably recognize it, not by the wounds you carry, but by the traits you've developed. These traits become your armor and your weapon, your way of navigating a world that has shown its sharp edges. Maybe you care too much, even when it breaks your heart. Maybe you insist on doing everything yourself, refusing help even when it's offered. You chase perfection like it's the only thing that will give you peace. You lock your emotions away, like a treasure no one can touch. Or perhaps you cling to control, terrified that if you let go, everything might crumble. These quirks aren't just habits, they're fingerprints of pain, left behind by life's toughest moments. Today, let's explore 5 profound traits of those who have suffered too much. You might just see yourself, or someone you love, in these descriptions, and find that even in pain, there is undeniable beauty. Number 1. Heightened empathy. There's something remarkable and deeply moving about people who've walked through the fire. They don't emerge unscathed, but transformed. These individuals carry hearts that resonate on a different frequency. Like instruments finely tuned by their pain, they feel the world more deeply. They notice what others overlook. They sense the pain others disregard and recognize when a smile is just a fragile mask hiding struggles. Heightened empathy is their gift, but it often feels like a curse. Imagine walking into a crowded room, and instead of hearing idle chatter, you're overwhelmed by unspoken sorrow. That's the weight of heightened empathy, sensing your friend's difficult day from the slump in their shoulders, catching the sadness behind a colleague's fleeting glance, or feeling the heavy silence in a single word. It's not mere observation, it's living in someone else's world, feeling their wounds as if they were your own. But heightened empathy comes at a cost. It carries an emotional burden that sleep alone can't erase. These individuals stay late at work, sensing their coworkers' struggles. They give even when they have little because they intimately understand the sting of desperation. They're the silent caregivers, the unsung heroes of everyday life. But who heals the healers? The truth is, their empathy often stems from their own pain. promises that dissolved like smoke. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true strength doesn't come from isolating ourselves, but from embracing the reality that we need one another. Hyper-independence, left unchecked, can become the greatest barrier to personal growth. The solution isn't to shatter the armor entirely, but to gradually lower it. Start small. Instead of doing everything yourself, try letting someone else help in a simple way. Let a coworker share the load, or allow a friend to carry a bag. Don't view asking for help as a sign of weakness. It's a step toward relearning trust. You'll find that it lightens your burden and helps you see that receiving support doesn't diminish your value or strength. Sometimes, true power lies in leaning on others without fear. Number 3. Perfectionism. For some, perfectionism is a silent anthem, the belief that if they can just get everything exactly right, the chaos will finally stop. Perfectionism doesn't come from a love of details or an eye for excellence. No, it's born of fear. Fear of failure. Fear of being judged. Fear of never being enough. Imagine growing up in a world where mistakes were met with harsh consequences, where love and approval felt conditional, dependent on flawless performance, where the tiniest crack in your armor invited criticism. Perfectionists aren't chasing greatness for its own sake. They're chasing safety. If everything is perfect, they think, no one can criticize me, no one will leave, no one will hurt me. But perfectionism is a cruel master. It whispers that you should have done more, worked harder, stayed up later. It makes you rewrite an email 5 times, even though it was fine the first time. It keeps you glued to your desk, editing every pixel, because good enough feels like failure. And when perfectionists do achieve something, the satisfaction is fleeting. Instead of celebrating, they focus on the flaws, the tiny details no one else noticed. Stoicism teaches us that perfection is an illusion. The world is messy, unpredictable, and full of imperfections. To demand perfection is to wage war against reality itself. So, how can you ease the grip of perfectionism? Start by embracing imperfection in small ways. Submit the report without obsessing over the font size. Let the dishes sit in the sink for a night. Allow yourself beyond your control, the anxiety can feel unbearable. Stoic philosophy reminds us to focus only on what we can control: our actions, our choices, and our mindset. The rest, let it go. Instead of fearing uncertainty, learn to embrace it. Trust that, no matter what happens, you have the strength to adapt and overcome. The need for control may have helped you survive, but now it's time to loosen your grip. Let go. Not everything needs to be perfect. Not everything needs to be planned. Sometimes, the most beautiful moments happen when we release our need to control and simply let life unfold. Each of these traits tells a story. A story of pain, a story of survival, but also a story of resilience, beauty, and strength. If you see yourself in these words, know this: you're not broken, you're human. And even in your scars, there's extraordinary power.